Just look how clean these pigs can keep themselves outside.
And the tape.
Good morning. This is what winter weather should be like. Fresh, cold, crisp, frosty. Kill all the bugs, open up the ground. Currently reading -3, and we'll get got a bit of paperwork done there this morning, so now we're going to start get the chores done, get the animals fed, get the water trucks checked, and get on with a bit of work. So coming up in today's video, we have to get the wheel mended on the JCB, and we look at how our companion crop of wheat and beans is used for animal feed. Enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and it'll help keep you up to date with more videos coming along the line. Given the big horns and the messing about to do with the silage feeders, I know you can get the big ones that have no top on them, and that's money at the moment. Just take this wee bit off the top and let them work away. And this was haylage made 2 years ago. It's lovely stuff. Made in June, first cut grass. And we kept some of it for these cattle because they love a bit of rougher grass as opposed to real fresh lush silage. This has got to be the cutest wee thing ever though. So we're clearing away some branches last night that had fallen in the back of the shed, out around the back of here. And it's resulted in... Hello. Resulted in damage in our wheel. We've got a burst. And actually, I think it's right here. So we'll get her off.
Can I do it?
Yeah, you couldn't hold it.
I want to hold the camera though. Daddy's taking the tire off.
What did we ever do before we had an impact? These Milwaukee guns are fantastic, especially if you're stuck in a tight spot and no access to an airline. A couple of minutes. One of the offending branches.
Daddy's taking the wheel off. It's off! Whoa. That's a cool wheel. My piggy. And the tape.
I've got the tyre mended and back home, and as you've seen, there was a fairly large slice in the sidewall. So what we're going to do is put it under less pressure and hope that it'll last longer. We're going to take the rear tyre, put it on the front, and put this front tyre in the rear, and then it'll be under less stress and strain. job's good. Wheel swapped over. Even managed to put a bit of copper grease on the nuts to keep it right coming off the next time. Well, put a wee bit more air in this front wheel and we're good to go again. I'm going to explain a wee bit about how we make our own meal for our pigs. This is a companion crop of wheat and beans, and we grew this crop last year as an experiment to see if we could get our own feed mix nearly from the one crop. And I'll put up a few pictures now and explain how that came about. So last year in our winter wheat, our beans from the previous harvest, the volunteers were coming through and populating through the wheat as well. So all but one field, we used our herbicide and eliminated those beans. And in one field we didn't, and we kept the beans to see how they would ripen and how the two would combine forward to harvest. An animal feed for our pigs that I would quantify as roughly 6-to-1. So last year what we did is we mixed our wheat and our beans at a 5-to-1 ration. So 5 parts wheat, 1 part beans for our pig feed. We crushed them both separately and just, 5 buckets of wheat and 1 bucket of beans into our bags as our ration, and it worked really well. So this year we're just using what we grew. The pigs don't get any other feeding, just this wheat and beans. We're nearly finished it here, that's why I'm showing it to you now. And then we'll go on to just bruising wheat and bruising beans and mixing it back up as we did. But I would like to do this again next year. This worked really well. However, I don't think that's going to be an option this year, as the frost has done a herbicide job for us. Seems to be doing a good job at knocking out these beans. The wheat's looking really well, but the ground is solid. The frost has never lifted all day. Our overall yield was a wee bit lower on tonnes per acre because the beans did really well and kind of choked the wheat out in some places. But the fact that it's a cheap feed ration, that we don't have to buy feed, we don't have to buy protein, it's homegrown, it's local, no air miles. I'd urge any livestock farmers out there that aren't using local beans to think about it, to try it. If you go to your smaller independent grain mills, they will have local beans and they'll be fit to provide you with feed ration. And going forward, given carbon reduction and stuff requirements in animal feed, homegrown protein would surely tick a lot more boxes than imported soya and maize, where we know they're trying to put restrictions in. General rule of thumb, 2 kilos of beans to 1 kilo of soya, and you have a roughly similar protein makeup to get a similar diet. For our calf ration last year, we would have kept some of our oats and a wee bit of barley. Generally, the sweepings up, the bits around the outside that you didn't want to be going to white oats for to make porridge. And for our calf ration, for the calves that we were rearing that had come off the milk, it was 3 parts oats, 2 parts barley, 1 part beans. And when the beans were in the ration, those calves were so much more content throughout the day. And nearly like a sheen on their coat, a bit like oilseed rape would do to certain animals. We have whole beans here from last year's harvest as well. A few wheat seeds on the top of that bag, so that's the sweepings off the floor that we're tidying up the last of it, keeping it. So if we needed more beans, we can add it in. If we need less, there's the normal wheat pile at the other end of the store. This is it through the bruiser once. And I'm going to bruise a wee bit through the bruiser a second time to show you what we do for the wee wean pigs that are coming off the sow, and we make it a wee bit finer, make it easier to digest. In some ways, the reason we don't want it too fine for our saddlebacks is we just want the wheat to be split and a wee bit slower to digest, because we don't want the pigs getting too fat too quick. They're a more slower growing process rather than finish as fast as possible, because then they'll be too fat. So we'll run some through, show you what it looks like after. So we've run it through for a second time, and I've just put a wee pile of each down. This is it once through the bruiser, and this is it a second time. The wheat's crushed up a bit finer, and the beans are a lot flatter. That's how the beans look. Second time through. First time through. First time through, they're well enough rolled. It's more getting the finer bits of wheat well crushed. First time. Second time, the wheat's in wee smithereens, really. So that's used as our weaning feed for the pigs. A bit finer, a bit easier to digest for the wee pigs. And then we just go for the coarser mix for the rest. Warming the hands for a minute or two here just by the heater. We're in here in the potato picking store. We have our seed spuds in the grater, ready to run over and check and grade them and take out any ones that we don't want in the seed. But that'll be for another video. So if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a wee thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and we'll hopefully catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.